It's Bree, and I have a story for you. If you've been here before, thanks for stopping by. And if you're new here, go ahead and click that red button and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell for notifications, because I know after this story, you guys are going to want to see Bree all the time, every time I upload. My hiatus from YouTube is over, bitch. I know you guys miss me, okay? I've been reading your comments on Instagram. I've been reading your comments on YouTube. I've been reading your DMs. I've been getting your death threats. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not that important. None of you guys were threatening my life. But I'm just saying, I felt the love. I know you guys miss me. I really did miss you guys too. Like, you guys don't even understand. It feels so good to be back on my bed, in front of the ring light and in front of my camera, talking to the homies again. And you know what? I owe you guys an explanation. I feel like a completely different Brianna than I was 1, 2, even 3 weeks ago. Like, 3 weeks ago, I didn't know who I was. I couldn't find myself. I had no passion for my channel. It was like I did have passion for my channel, but I just couldn't tap in. You know what? About 4 or 5 days ago, I actually went live on my channel because I felt like I owed you guys an explanation on where I was. And in that live, I kept saying, oh, this is the only time I'm going to talk about this. Like, if you guys want to know what's going on, this is the only time I'm going to speak on it. So don't ask me again. Like, I was basically saying stuff like that. And when I really sat down and thought about it, I was like, I have 19,000 subscribers. There weren't even 1,000 people who saw that stream. I would be doing not only myself but you guys an injustice by not catching you guys up to date, so we can all be on the same page and we can all know where I was. Because honestly, I really did miss you guys, and I don't know, I just feel like I would be full of shit to be like, oh, I'm only gonna say this on the live, and if you didn't catch it on the live, well, you missed out on the tea. So in case you did miss that live that day, let's go ahead and do a quick recap. So basically, I had to give up my camera so I could have somewhere to live. Before I started doing this channel, as you guys are aware, I'm pretty sure, I made a lot of bad decisions, bro. That's basically the entire premise of this channel. All of the poor, bad decisions that I used to make. And those decisions, like sugaring, stripping, doing like finessing, catfishing, doing everything but actually getting a job, came back to bite me in my ass, because I had been spending month after month after month trying to catch up on my rent that was past due. And it got to the point where my roommate was like, look, I'm gonna need something to hold as collateral. And so I gave her my camera. I felt like that was kind of what she was asking for, like either my camera or my computer. And I gave it over, and that was really, really dumb to sacrifice my channel. But at the time, I felt like, well, my channel operates out of this room. If I don't have anywhere to live, then I don't have a channel. And that doesn't even make sense, because vlogs. I mean, I could have just brought y'all into my everyday life, but that's neither here nor there. So I gave my camera up, which is why I wasn't able to film, because I basically had to give it to my roommate as good intentions that I would pay my rent. And it was kind of like an agreement to motivate me to hurry up and pay my rent. And I thought that I would be strong. I thought that I would be able to continue to create content using my phone, and the complete opposite happened. From the time that I gave my roommate my camera, I just spiraled. I lost all motivation for my channel. I felt like, why am I even doing this? There were times where I legit felt like quitting my channel entirely, because I felt like I'm putting all my energy into this platform because I believe that it will change my life, and I love connecting with these people. And I felt like this is the first thing in my life out of all the phases that I went through: Insta thought, playing piano, playing guitar, digital imagery. I wanted to be an actress. I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to write music. I wanted to be a model. I mean, there's so many phases that I have gone through, and YouTube was the only one that stuck. And when I had to give up my equipment for my channel, I felt like, well, why am I even trying to change my life if it's still going to stay the same? Basically hopelessness, if I had to sum it up. And I couldn't find myself. I tried to film vlogs. I tried to film story times on my phone, and it just wasn't good enough for me. And I mean, I couldn't be the Brianna that you guys have grown to know and love. I just wasn't there. She didn't exist. 3 weeks of just hating myself. 3 weeks of not feeling confident, not feeling strong, not feeling like I had a purpose, bro. And I never feel like that. I never have been a quitter. And those thoughts were really running through my mind. Like, not like delete your channel, but I mean, you might as well quit. This isn't even going anywhere. You're still struggling. How are you going to keep continuing to do this channel and you can't even pay your bills? All of that was in my mind. And honestly, if I just continued to create, you guys really could have helped me through that. And I was weak. I was weak for not telling you guys earlier and using you guys for support, because you guys are here to support me. So now that you know that I had to give my camera up, and that's why I wasn't able to film, and on top of giving my camera up, I was just in a bad place emotionally. Now I can tell you how I ended up back at the strip club. Because I thought that these 2 weeks, my channel was just going to flop and it was just going to hurt my channel. But as I sit here right now, because I've said this before, that my channel is like really therapeutic to me. As I sit here right now, those 2 weeks off and everything that I went through while I was away from my channel was good for me. Because I get to come back with new stories and genuine stories, and I get to bring you guys with me on this journey as I try to align with my purpose and my destiny on this planet. Before I get into this story, I want to say chasing your dreams is not easy. It's up and down, but you need to stay really focused. And I mean, I'm just happy that I'm back here and I have another story to share. And even though it comes from pain, I know that not only sharing this story will help me, but it's going to help somebody else out there that's like, I'm going to pick my channel back up. I'm going to start a channel. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to go back to school. I'm not going to drop out of school. Like, whatever situation that this story can apply to, I really hope that it helps you, because I know by the end of the story, it's going to help me. So let's get into it. You know, I'm always like, oh, this story takes place in 2015. This story takes place in 2016. Bitch, this story took place 3 weeks ago. This is very fresh and very hot tea on Bree. Let me walk you guys through my mindset and through the motions, because this is about to be one hell of a story. And I just want to go ahead and apologize in advance for the fact that I was sipping that dumb bitch juice, that stupid bitch juice. I was definitely getting my full dose, and I apologize. But on this channel, we learn from our mistakes. So about a week after I gave my roommate my camera as collateral, I actually had a brand sponsorship video that I needed to film and upload, and the brand was like really blowing me up. Like, they thought that they had just sent me product and I was never gonna upload the video, and they were literally harassing me. So I knew that I had kind of filmed a little bit of something on my cell phone, but I didn't feel like that was gonna be good enough. So I reached out to my roommate. I was like, hey, can I get my camera back so I could film this sponsored video? I'll get paid for it and I'll give you my camera back. And then I even took it a step further. I was like, you know what? You could take my TV and you could take my Apple TV. If you need something to hold, just let me film this video, get this money, and then I'll be able to pay you back faster. She's like, you know what? I can't take this. This is not of equal amount. And when she told me that, she could not take my TV and my Apple TV because it was not equal in monetary value, I had a mental breakdown at work. Like, I was at lunch having a this was before lunch. I hadn't even gone on lunch yet, because I remember her text messages pissed me off so bad that I had to text my friend at work, and I was like, can we go on lunch? I mean, I was spiraling. anybody who's watching this that knows me in real life, it does not take much for me to spiral into a mental breakdown. It does not take much. And I already wasn't in a good place to film. The brand adding pressure on me was giving me anxiety because I felt like I was showing unprofessionalism. I felt like, damn, this is how you're starting off being a YouTuber. You have these brands thinking that you're scamming them and they're just sending you stuff and you're not. Like, I was just, it was a lot of self-depreciation. That's the word for it. And when she told me that she couldn't take what I was offering, it just, something in me snapped and I just couldn't do it. I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to be in my house. And I texted my sister and I was like, you know what? I'm coming up to the Bay. Like, I told my sister what was going on. My sister had already known what was going on in my house way back, like months back. She kind of knew that I was having difficulty paying my bills and things of that nature. Because she knew all of this leading up to that point, leading up to that final mental breakdown, she was like, you know what? If you feel like it's going to be good for you to get away, just come up here. She's like, I work. And you know what? It was President's Day weekend too. So technically it was like a 4-day weekend. And I was like, you know what? I do not want to be in my house if I can't film. If I can't do anything for my channel, I don't want to be home. I don't even want to be in LA. If I can't do YouTube, I don't want to be here. So I called my sister. I told my sister when I was at lunch, I was like, look, I'm going to buy a Greyhound ticket. And when I get off work, I'm going up to the Bay. The Greyhound from LA to the Bay Area is like an 8-hour bus ride. And I was so bitter because I'm like, at this point, I felt like my roommate was trying to sabotage me. That's why I was bitter. Because I felt like if she had gave me my camera, I would have been able to make money to get myself out of this situation. And yeah, bro, I was bitter. And something about that bitterness, something about that desperation to save my channel, I got an idea like, you know what? I'm not going to go to the Bay for nothing. I'm going to go to the Bay and I'm going to get some money. I wasted no time. I signed up for Seeking Arrangement again. I started going on Craigslist. I was using my sister's zip code and I was calling all the strip clubs in her surrounding area because I had my mind made up that I was going to come back and I was going to come back with some money to throw in my roommate's face. Like, I wanted revenge. Even though I was technically in the wrong because I should be the one paying my bills on time, I wanted revenge, and most importantly, like I said, I was desperate. I wanted my channel back. I arrived in San Jose at some unholy hour, like around 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning. And so my sister came, she picked me up from the bus station, and initially, I had no intentions of telling my sister that my motives had changed from I need a break from my life to I'm out here to get money. I'm out here on a money mission. She picks me up, I go to her house, and then the next day, she had to work. So we have this conversation of, what are you gonna do today? Because I have to work until 1 o'clock in the morning. And she was like, oh, like, do you wanna hang out with my best friend? Because she didn't want me to be in the house. And she didn't want me to just be wandering around Oakland, because that's where she lived. She lived in Oakland. So I'm like, no, don't even trip. I got friends from Twitter that I'm gonna hang out with. Meanwhile, in my mind, I'm like, bitch, I'm about to go on these auditions. I don't just get out the house so I can get to the club. So I was just telling her whatever kind of would make sense, because I mean, I got enough followers on Twitter where I could meet somebody and I can hang out with them, you know? So she leaves, and as soon as she leaves, I go buy me a bottle, hop in the shower, and start getting ready to unleash this hoe. I stayed in my sister's house for about 2 hours after she left, honestly, because I felt insecure. Like, I felt like, why am I going back to my old ways? When did it get to this? Bitch, you wasn't even a good stripper to begin with. Now you about to go start doing this again. And you know what? The liquor intensified it. I was very much self-loathing, and I felt like I had to literally build up the courage to request my Uber, because by the time it was like 11:30, I was like, I need to hurry up and get out this house because auditioning time ends at 1. So when I finally request my Uber, I was just in the back seat listening to all my hoe anthems, trying to bring out that bad bitch. Like, I wanted to walk into this audition with bad bitch energy, not sad bitch energy. Here's the thing. When I actually got to the strip club though, I got on my Uber, had my little stripper bag, took another shot, and I turned that charm on. I turned it on. I did not walk in there pathetic or with any kind of desperate emo energy. I went in there, I was confident, I was bright, I looked cute, and the staff was really, really cool. Like when I went there, it kind of became obvious to me that it was more of like a white club, and I wasn't really tripping off that because it was easier for me. You know what I'm saying? Like the pressure for me to really shake that ass, to really dance, there was less pressure. So I felt comfortable, especially considering, you know, I've had luck with white men in the past. So I gave the staff my dancer name. I filled out like a mini application card, and they let me audition on the spot. So I go in the back, put my heels on, change my outfit, and I hit the stage. Even though the club was kind of dead, I made like $20 on stage. And then when I got off, it was like, look, we like your energy. Because you know what? My audition, it was way different from the audition that I told you guys in my How I Became a Stripper story time. Like, I had way more stage presence. You know what I'm saying? I moved slower, more seductive. Like, I definitely applied what I learned. And it felt good when they were like, okay, so do you want to work tonight or do you want to come back tomorrow? And this is where I made my first mistake, because I was just like, you know what? I'll work tonight. And in real life, I should have just been like, no, I'll come back tomorrow, and I should have went to go audition at those other 2 clubs. But I feel like the liquor mixed with the fear of the unknown and like not wanting to pay for those Ubers to get rejected, which I guess goes under the fear of the unknown, I settled. And I was just like, you know what? I'm already hired here. My goal was to get hired at some kind of club. Let's just make this work. So I stayed for the rest of the night. Made a couple of dollars, made a couple of friends, and by the end of the night, when it was time for me to go back to my sister's house, I felt optimistic. I felt like, okay, Operation Get Some Money is off to a good start. I was in the Bay for about a week, because you know how it was already a 4-day weekend with President's Day? I ended up calling out of work and staying in the Bay for the rest of the week because I don't know, I just had my mind set on making money, and more specifically, I had my mind set on $2,000. I'm like, look, I'm already hired in a strip club. I have a goal, and I'm not gonna go home until I reach that goal. So I literally called out to extend my time there, to extend the possibility of me manifesting $2,000, because I felt like with $2,000, I could pay the rest of my rent, I could get my camera back, I could pay next month's rent, and I could flex on all the haters. So that was my intention. But after 3 bad nights in the club, sis started to lose hope. Shit started going downhill for me mentally again. All the money I was making at the club, I was spending on Uber and hanging out with my sister, because my sister didn't know that I was living a double life. And 3 days of not making much money, like maybe $60, but definitely not $100. 3 days of not making money and then spending it back to enjoy time with your sister, and you're secretly like keeping this secret. Like, on one hand, I didn't want to tell her that I was going to be a stripper because I didn't want to deal with the embarrassment of I'm that desperate. And now, on the other hand, I don't want to tell her I'm a stripper because I'm doing it and I'm not making no money. So it was really like weighing on me. And I remember I had to take a day off, because my intention was, if I'm going to call out of work, I'm going to hit that club every single day and I'm going to make that money. But like I said, after 3 days, on the 4th day, I was just like, look, I need to take some time. I need to focus on me. Like, I need to process what I'm feeling emotionally, especially because I had brought my laptop with me up to the Bay. I had a video that I needed to finish. I just remember taking that day off and looking at my video and trying to finish it and trying to get it out, and just going, this channel is gonna flop. These people are gonna unsubscribe. You're not funny, girl. You're like, what do they even see in you? I mean, damn, like, I was putting myself down, and I felt justified. I felt like everything I said made sense. So I gave myself 1 day to feel bad for myself. 1 day to really sit and process the pain that I was going through. And I just ended up making myself feel worse. So the next day, I put my big girl panties on and I hit that club again. And this day was when I really knew that, like, the stripping was just not for me, and there has to be more to life. Knowing that I was money minded, like I had my mind on the money, did pick up my mood. I'm not gonna lie. I did feel more motivated and more optimistic because I'm like, look, you spent yesterday feeling bad. Today, you're gonna go get that bag. I had actually worked a double shift. I went the day shift and worked the night shift. The day shift was good. I would say I had made about $150 in the day shift because I had found somebody who liked me and he wanted to spend time with me. So, I was working that. And by the time it got to the night shift, like any strip club, it started to get more competitive. Then that evening, I ended up meeting another guy. Now, this other guy, I was making money off of him. I made money off of him. I mean, it was kind of like we were magnetic to each other. Like from the time I hit the stage, he had my energy and I had his energy. And it was something more than the money. It was like we were just on the same wave. We were just clicking. And it just so happened, yeah, he was giving money to all the girls, but I was the chosen girl. I noticed that every time it was my time to go on stage, another girl's name was called. And the first 2 times, I just brushed it off because I had already made $150. So what do I need to be greedy for? But by the 3rd time, when I realized that he wanted to talk to me, he was trying to get my attention, but I was running off and doing another dance. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to make it up to him, or I will come by and I will put my arm around his shoulder, like just give him some kind of attention. Because I'm like, okay, you know, it doesn't matter if I get this guy's little $30 dance. I'm going to go on the stage. I'll get his attention. I'll get a dance after that. And I started to see that there was favoritism, that my turn just kept getting skipped and kept getting skipped. And could I really be offended? I mean, I was a new stripper and new girls do make more money just because they're new girls. So I wasn't really shocked by the fact that I was getting sabotaged, but that desperation was starting to kick in. Like, I don't want to have to fight somebody because I'm not getting the opportunity to get this cash. Like, this should be an equal opportunity, an equal bag opportunity in this club, okay? But what was worse was I didn't know which girl was sabotaging me. I didn't know which girl was going up to the DJ and telling the DJ to skip me. I didn't even know girls were paying attention to me that much to realize that the guy with the money favored me because I was new. I mean, sorry, I'm new. Can I get my money? Like, finally, after being skipped 4 times, I go on stage. Why this dude run out of ones? When he comes back, there's a girl really trying to sit in his lap. Now, that's illegal in the strip club. You cannot, like, dance in front of the stage while there's girls on stage. You can't sit in a customer's lap while there's girls on stage. That's just like I said, that's like that unwritten stripper rule. Like, you don't know it until you're in that world. If you're not a stripper, you're like, I don't give a fuck if she on stage. I'm trying to get this money. When you are, that can get you beat up, sis. So I started to get bitter because I saw the subtle jealousy. I saw the subtle sabotage. And so I decided I was going to get aggressive with it and I was going to go after him because I was the one he wanted in the first place. So when my turn was over, let's say he gave me about $40 on stage, right? So when my turn was over, put the little $40 in my money bag. So at this point I have about almost $200, and I have my mind made up that I'm going to make that other $200 off of him. I'm gonna make all the rest of February's rent off of this guy, and I could at least go home. Like, even if I don't go home with those 2 racks, I'm gonna go home with the rest of February's rent, and I'm gonna get my camera back. And that's where my mind was. Tell me when I get off stage, I go in the back, and this girl who I never talked to, she's like, why are you talking to my customer? And I'm like, talking to her customer? Bitch, I haven't even had the opportunity to have a real conversation with bro. She knew that her customer, if that was even her customer, wanted me. But he was just trying to have a good time in the strip club. Like, if he only knew what was happening in behind the scenes, he probably just would have gave us both money. Like, come on, girl. I'm like, well, why don't we just go and try to get a dance from him together? And I saw her demeanor change because she's like, okay, she's not trying to sabotage me. She's gonna try to get this money with me. And I'm like, yeah, like, I'm a Capricorn, like, I'm gonna give you solutions, bitch. I'm not about to sit up here and lose a bag. Let's get it together. Let's work him together. So when the feminism jumped out, I mean, she kind of apologized. She told me her little dancer name because, bitch, I had never talked to her before, and she pressed me like that over somebody that wanted to spend money on probably all of us. Like, make it make sense. But that's neither here nor there. So she goes out and she introduces me to him. Like, she literally walks me out like a trophy, and she's like, this is so-and-so, my dancer name, you know, this is so-and-so, would you like to get a dance with both of us? And he was like, yes, I've been waiting to talk to her all night. And so basically she walks away, she tells the bartender what the dance is going to be, and me and this guy are walking arm in arm up to the bartender or whatever. So he gets a VIP. You have to pay $150 for that VIP dance, and then he was going to tip both of us out. Like, so we get in the room, and I mean, she going to work, I'm just in the corner like, you know, like jostling. I was hitting him with them jostling moves, okay? By the time the 30-minute dance was over, let's just say it was about 12:30, and I was good for the day. I feel like I had made a little over $200, so I was good for the day. And I asked the girl when we were walking out, because I'm like, oh, you know what, I'm actually gonna Uber home, do you want to cash out? Like, do you want to get your half? Because the bartender's not just gonna let me cash out without giving you your half. She said something to me that just literally made no sense. She said something to me along the lines of she was gonna tip me. Like, she was gonna get all the money from the dance, and she was gonna tip me for working with her. So basically I was gonna make his tip, everything that I made on stage and everything I made before that dance, and then I'm not gonna let another stripper tip me. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, okay, I have never been in an altercation in LA. I am not trying to get in an altercation 8 hours away from home in a club with girls I don't know from anywhere. So I definitely tried to keep my cool, and I definitely tried to like be clear that I was going to get my half of the money, but not be rude. Like, I didn't want to step on her toes, especially considering how I initially met her. I initially met her with this aggressive, angry, volatile energy. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ask the manager and let's see what he thinks. Like, I really tried to play that good girl role, because I don't want to get in no fight. I just did not want to get into no stripper fight. I'm not that girl. I'm not gonna be that girl that day. Something that's so simple took 15 minutes for us to come to an agreement to. So she walks with me, and we walk out to the bartender for me to cash out, and I get my half and she gets her half. I'm like, cool, I'm about to request my Uber, I'm about to go. I'm in there, I go back to the locker room, and I'm packing my stripper bag. I'm back in my regular girl clothes, put my shoes away, got my stripper bag, yada yada yada. I left my stripper bag on the table. This was not a stripper bag, this was like an entire duffel bag. It wasn't like no cute little, like, it was a whole duffel bag with like compartments in it, and like it was organized. I have a really weak bladder, so I'm like, I'm requesting my Uber, but I'm gonna go pee. So I have my phone, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready, requesting an Uber, and I go in the bathroom stall and I pee. It takes me like 30 seconds to pee. Anybody who knows me in real life knows that I am one of the quickest peers on the planet. Like, I could probably be in the Guinness Book of World Records. That's how fast I pee. So you know how it is when you request an Uber, and as soon as you request it, your Uber driver is like a minute or 2 minutes away. You immediately grab your stuff and go get your ride. Like, I'm not trying to deal with no cancellation fees and stuff like that. So I pull my pants up, wash my hands, go get my bag, and I'm like, this day is done. I stand outside. I literally think nothing of it. So when I get in my Uber, I start counting my money. So I go in my duffel bag and I take out my money bag that I was carrying on the floor in the club, and I start counting my money. And it's like, I see the money that I made in the first half of the day, but something not adding up. Now, if you're a stripper, I don't care how bad at math you are, because I'm bad at math. You know how much money you made. You just do. You gotta be a dumb bitch to not know how much money you made if you was getting naked to make it. You gotta be dumb. I was looking a little bit $80 off. $80, not 10, not 20, not 40. I was $80 off. So I'm like looking through the bottom of my duffel bag, looking in the little counter compartments. I had my real purse that I would carry around in the daytime in that bag. I'm looking in that bag because I'm like, okay, girl, I know you was drinking. Did you lose it? Did you drop it? Like, what's going on? So you know what I did? Text the manager. I texted the strip club manager because I wasn't going to turn around and go back. I wasn't going to turn around and go back and try to turn up over $80. I'm like, hey, you know what? I think somebody took my money. What should I do? And he's like, are you going to come into work tomorrow? And I'm like, I mean, I didn't, like, in my mind, I'm like, I didn't want to come to work tomorrow. I was good. I was out the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I guess I'm gonna have to go to work tomorrow because I want my $80. Let's just fast forward to the day shift the next day. I wake up, put whatever on, got my regular purse because I had no intentions of dancing, and I go up there and I'm like, look, you know what, I was only staying up here for the weekend. I really needed this money. I don't even want to dance today. I just want to figure out how I can get this $80 back. I'm like, you know what, I did a VIP dance for 30 minutes with another dancer, didn't even call her out, and she was right there at the bar. I saw her with my eyes, didn't even call her out. I'm like, I did a 30-minute VIP with another dancer. So if you're a manager and you use your common sense, you know that you can go into the database and see which 2 dancers did a 30-minute VIP. So I'm really trying to be as cordial as I possibly can. And I'm like, after the dance, I decided to cash out. I told the girl I wanted to cash out. And then I requested my Uber and went home. I completely simplified that story. Why did homegirl at the bar hop up and walk over to me and she's like, is there a problem? So one, you were listening to my entire conversation, which probably I shouldn't even be mad at because I talk pretty loud. But, I mean, if you're going to listen to the entire conversation, this is how you choose to enter it. Is there a problem? This was the second time that she approached me on some like hostile, volatile, and she was in the wrong. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just trying to figure out where my $80 went because after I cashed out, that money that was my half was gone. So because of our interaction, obviously a light bulb is going off in the strip club owner's head because he's like, oh, so these 2 girls are the girls who did the dance together. The manager goes, damn it, let's call her Amanda. So he goes, damn it, Amanda, seriously? You know how many chances I give you? Like, he started blowing up on Amanda. And I'm standing there like, am I gonna, like, I just wanted $80. I wasn't expecting her to get bold, and I definitely wasn't expecting her to press when she was in the wrong. Like, girl, if you didn't even take my $80, there was no reason for you to step to me in the first place. This was not what I signed up for. I made my mind up that I was done with this circumstance. I was done with this situation, and it just intensified. So when he goes over there and he's like, don't you ever come back here? I mean, he's cussing her out, and I'm just standing at the bar like, okay, I guess I am going to get my $80 then, huh? So he comes back. He apologizes. He's like, you know what? You don't have to leave. You don't have to quit. Like, if you want to stay here, you can stay here. I'm like, what part of, like, I'm going home to LA, like, did you not catch? At the end of the day, he was really nice. He was really cordial. And I got my $80 back. The trip overall to the Bay, it was terrible. It was terrible on multiple levels that I don't even feel like I could unleash in this one video because this video is already kind of long as it is. But why did I have to go through all of that in the first place? From not being able to pay my rent, to having to give away my camera, to running away from myself and ultimately running into more problems. Why does my life keep doing this? It is so exhausting to be me. I'm not even playing. Like, I get tired of being me. And I remember after I finally got my $80, being in the back of my Uber like, damn, like, this life is not worth it. Like, literally washing my hands and mentally deciding that once I get my camera back, I'm gonna go all in on this channel. Like, it's crazy how in the 2 weeks that I was away from my channel, I really did feel like all kinds of failures. And life has now brought me full circle to realize, if anything, I now have more experiences to share and more insight into who I am. You know what I'm saying? Because this whole experience from beginning to end, it really taught me, 1, to stay in my lane, 2, to not lose focus. Like, I'm at a place in my life where I never want to be that low again emotionally. Because if I'm that low emotionally, I can't create, I can't connect with you guys, and I can't work towards changing my life. And the last thing I want to do is keep living life the way I am. I honestly thought that after I told you guys the story time about how I became a stripper, I wasn't going to have any new stories. I didn't think I was going to have any new stripper tea. I didn't even think I was going to go back into that lifestyle. And for me to be doing YouTube, I really don't think that that was a good idea that I did decide to go back into that lifestyle, because that chapter is closed. Like, why did I try to reopen it? And this is the part where I just obviously give myself a mini therapy session, because that's the end of the story. I was desperate. I was trying to get myself out of a situation to be with you guys and to create for you guys. And I went back to the strip club because of it. And what did I gain? I guess my camera back, right? If you guys like this video, go ahead and turn that thumbs up. Blue, support your girl. Get those fingers moving in the comments below and let me know what you guys think of this situation. I mean, I got on camera and as usual, I kept it 100% with y'all because we're growing together. And that's why I even started this channel, because it's a journey. I love you guys and I'll see you in the next video. Till next time. And it won't take weeks, I promise.